Leading people is hard in all kinds of ways, but you need to understand that there's one person who is harder to lead than absolutely anyone else. Welcome to the Matt Ware Show, a podcast for leaders who want more and won't settle for less. Straight talk to help you lead better, live bolder, and not lose yourself in the process. If you're serious about going to the next level in life and leadership, you're in the right place. Well, hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Matt Ware Show, where we talk about going to the next level in life and in leadership. Glad to have you with us and would love it if you would share this with someone you know, because every single week we talk about things that help us grow as leaders. And every leader I know who's serious about what they would do is serious about their growth. So pass this on to somebody who you know would benefit from growth. Today, we're going to talk about a really foundational thing that we have to understand in leadership, and that is this. Leading people is hard, no matter what your position or your organization or your industry. But the hardest person you will ever lead is not someone out there, it's the one in here. The hardest person you will ever lead is yourself. And the sooner you come to terms with that, the better off you're going to be. We spend so much time and energy trying to figure out how to lead everyone else, and sometimes we completely lose sight of the fact that if we aren't leading ourselves, our leadership of other people won't really matter, won't really make much of an impact. It's harder to lead ourselves than it is to lead others because we lie to ourselves. We let ourselves off the hook. We believe our own excuses. We judge others based on impact, but we judge ourselves based on intention. We view others based on what they did or said, but we view ourselves based on our motives and our heart. But you will never be able to lead others well unless and until you learn to lead yourself well. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I've talked in other episodes about what it means for a leader to take care of themselves. And I hate the term self-care because it feels soft and weak and self-centered. But it's an idea rooted in the truth that if you don't take care of yourself, you won't be any good to anyone else, and you won't be able to take care of anyone else. And there's a version of this in leadership that sounds like this. If we're not leading ourselves, we can't lead anyone else. Okay, so think about it this way. When you get on the plane and they do the safety demonstration, what do they say? In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, panels above your seat will open, revealing yellow oxygen masks. Reach up and pull the mask toward you, place it over your nose and mouth, and secure it with the elastic band that can be adjusted to ensure a snug fit. The plastic bag will not fully inflate, although oxygen is flowing. Secure your own mask before attempting to help others, or something like that. Now, as a leader, as somebody who has the right motives, as someone who sees what they do as a responsibility, they want to help others, they want to care for others and all of that. This idea that they present in the safety demonstration feels very counterintuitive, right? Because your first reaction is to say, no, my job is not to put my mask on. My job is to help other people put their masks on, right? I'm the leader. I'm the one who rushes into the fire. I throw myself headlong into the crisis. I sacrifice what's good for me for the sake of what's good for other people, for my team, for my organization. And all of that sounds great. And yet we know, very practically speaking, that the safety demonstration is actually right. As a leader, if you don't secure your own mask, you are not going to help anyone else for very long. And in the same way, if you don't know how to lead yourself well, you won't lead anyone else well, and you certainly won't lead for long. The problem is nobody lies like leaders. And I don't mean lying to others, I mean lying to ourselves. We lie to ourselves about our habits, our emotions, our blind spots. We lie to ourselves about the condition of our team, our organization, and our own hearts. And if we want to get better, we should start by getting honest with ourselves. We should get honest about the areas of our lives where we aren't paying as much attention as we should, the areas we aren't giving as much effort as we should, the areas that we're doing the minimum to get by, the areas we're neglecting, the areas that we're living off of a past accomplishment, the areas that we are phoning it in because we can get away with it, at least temporarily. And even as I say all that, you know You wouldn't let someone else on your team do any of those things, right? You wouldn't let them get away with being less than their best. You wouldn't want them half-heartedly doing their job. But do you? As leaders, sometimes it's easier to see it in someone else than it is to see it in ourselves. And that's because it's easier to lead someone else than it is to lead ourselves. And so today what I want to do is challenge you in a few areas that I believe you have to be leading yourself if you're going to be the kind of person who leads others, if you're going to do it well, if you're going to build a life, build the team, build the organization that you really want to have. I want to give you 5 areas that I think are an absolute must. You have to learn how to lead in these areas, lead the hardest person in the world, which is yourself. Okay, number 1 is your mind. You have to lead your mind. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That's ancient biblical wisdom telling us that if we don't think right, we won't be able to lead right. If we don't have clarity, if we don't have confidence, if we don't have courage in our minds, those things will be woefully lacking in our organizations. If you want to lead better, you have to think better. I talk to a lot of leaders, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, nonprofit directors, pastors who really don't have a strong, healthy mental life. They're not focused, they're not forward thinking, they're not positive about what's coming in the future. And so I think it's important for us to evaluate this, to take stock of this. You need to think about your thinking. Are your thought patterns healthy or are they toxic? Are they productive or are they futile? What mental loops do you get stuck in that hold you back rather than move you forward? Do you realize that you don't have to think about everything you think about? You don't have to let lies and limits and labels shape your mindset about your life or your leadership. The fastest way to change how you live is to change how you think. This is really where it all begins, in our minds. If you don't lead your own thoughts, if you don't lead your own mind, you are not really leading yourself at all. Okay, number 2, your mouth. You have to lead your mouth. And we don't always think about this, but our mouths, our words, they have a tremendous power in our lives and in our leadership. And I see this, or hear this, I guess I should say, how leaders can become very careless with their words and how that impacts them and it impacts the people around them. How you speak matters. Your words create your reality. And if you're a leader, they create other people's reality as well. If the way you speak reflects fear and stress and scarcity, that's what you'll produce in your organization. But if the way you speak reflects hope and faith and vision and calm in the storm, you'll produce that in your organization. Fear is contagious and hope is contagious. So choose your words carefully because both life and death can come out of your mouth. And sometimes people think that as long as they say the right things in front of people, they can say whatever they want behind their backs. And I'll just tell you, it does not work like that. Your words create a reality whether specific people heard them or not. And I don't fully understand this. I'm just telling you that it's true. So if you're going to lead yourself well, you have to lead your mouth. You have to be careful about what you say. Just because you think it doesn't mean you have to say it, right? So lead your mind, lead your mouth. Number 3, lead your heart. Lead your heart. And I don't say heart in the, soft psychotherapist way. I'm talking about the core of who you are, the essence of who you are as a person. You have to take responsibility to lead your own heart. Most of you know I'm a person of faith, and the Bible talks so much about this, that we have to guard our hearts, that our hearts can actually deceive us. That our hearts can have hidden motives. Our hearts can have deep wounds that we aren't fully conscious of or aware of. And all of those things affect our leadership more than we care to admit. A lot of leaders let their hearts get jaded and cynical and hardened. It's understandable because they carry a lot of weight and responsibility. They deal with a lot of stress and hardship and heartache. But I want to urge you to keep your heart clean. Keep your heart soft. Keep your heart open. Don't be naive, don't be foolish, but also don't get hard. Don't get cold. Don't get disconnected from the very heart that caused you to enter the arena of leadership in the first place. You will not be the leader that you could be or should be if you shut down and lose touch with your own heart. You cannot afford to lose sight of what you set your sights on. You cannot afford to stop seeing what you once saw, the vision you carry to make a difference in people's lives and in the world around you. Guard your heart, protect your dream. Do not lose sight of the vision you have to make tomorrow better than today. Leaders begin to die when they allow their dreams to die, when the busyness and the disappointment and the discouragement of it all clouds the vision they once have. So if you don't do anything else, make sure you take responsibility for leading your own heart. Okay, so number 1 is lead your mind. Number 2, lead your mouth. Number 3, lead your heart. Number 4, lead your body. Lead your body. And I know this is really practical, but it's something I see leaders neglect all the time. And I've been guilty of it too, but here's what I believe. If you aren't taking care of your body, you aren't taking care of your business. If you're a leader and you do not prioritize your physical health, your organization will suffer for it. You won't have the physical energy, the mental clarity, or the emotional stability to lead at the level everyone is looking to you for. Your business capacity will be limited by your body's capacity. Taking care of your body is not a luxury, it is a necessity. You need to be at your highest capacity, and other people are looking to you for your example and your influence. Taking care of your body is one of the most important leadership disciplines you can develop because it means you are leading yourself before you attempt to lead anyone else. Leaders who are serious about what they do understand the importance of sleeping enough, eating well, exercising adequately, because they know that doing those things gives them better mental sharpness and emotional stability and confidence in how they show up and lead. Okay, so you have to lead your mind, you have to lead your mouth, you have to lead your heart, you have to lead your body, and last one, number 5, you have to lead your growth. Lead your growth. Take responsibility for leading your own growth. Growth starts with you. Every leader I talk to wants their team to grow, but they aren't always willing to grow. They want their people to get better, but they aren't always willing to get better. You cannot expect everyone around you to be intentional about their growth if you as the leader aren't intentional about your own growth. No one can make you grow, and no one can keep you from growing. Personal growth is a personal decision. You can grow as much as you want, as fast as you want, as deep as you want. The only limit to your growth is the limit you put on yourself. And the people who keep growing are the ones who make the biggest impact in their leadership. John Maxwell says that the only guarantee that tomorrow will be better than today is your commitment to personal growth. And I believe that's true. Growth is the only thing that holds you back from the life and the leadership you really want to have. So, in all of your leading, make sure that you are focused on leading yourself. You're the hardest person that you'll ever have to lead, but leading yourself well is what positions you with the confidence and credibility and moral authority to lead others well. Lead your mind, lead your mouth, lead your heart, lead your body, and lead your growth. If you master leading yourself in those areas, the sky's the limit for how you can lead others. And I'd love to hear from you on this. Which of these 5 areas is the hardest for you to lead yourself? Which one of these stung the most or made you squirm the most when I was talking about it? That's probably the one that needs the most attention, that needs the most focus from you right now. Drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube, or shoot me a DM at @VMattWare on all the socials, and let me know which one is the hardest for you, and let's talk about it. Let's get better together. Okay, whatever you do this week, make sure you go lead yourself well, because you can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. I'm Matt Ware, and I'll see you next time.